There's literally thousands of dollars in the maple trees all around me right now. So how much does it cost us to get it out and turn it into maple syrup? We're tapping 80 maple trees with 3/16 inch tubing and no vacuum system. The question is, are we going to get enough sap and be able to make enough maple syrup to justify the cost and make it cheaper than we would pay at the grocery store? I'll give you a hint. The answer is no. In our sugar bush, we have 80 of these. 80 taps. Last year, we ran about 45, and we made 7 gallons of maple syrup off that. That works out to about 0.15 gallons of syrup per tap for each one of these. And this year, because when you're a sugar maker, you always are expanding, we did 80 of those taps. So are we going to actually save any money compared to buying the syrup at the store? Well, we don't know yet. But what I can tell you is last year, we definitely didn't, and I don't anticipate us saving anything this year. So last year, when we had 45 taps, we made 7 gallons of syrup. If we were to pay $45 a gallon, which is roughly the going rate around here, you can find it from local producers for less. You can find it at big box stores or, grocery stores, and it's probably going to be a little bit more. That math works out to be about $315 worth of maple syrup that we made by ourselves. And here's the thing, there's a lot of costs to take into account. First of all, the taps, the little plastic spouts, these guys, they're pretty cheap, $1 a piece or so. Tubing, spouts, miscellaneous stuff like that, relatively cheap in the grand scheme of things. $100, $150, but a lot of that stuff you can use for a couple of years in a row. So we saved a bunch of money, right? Wrong. We ended up spending a bunch of money. We bought an evaporator pan that cost us about $300. We built our own evaporator out of an old grill. That was about another $50 to $100. But then there was the firewood. And firewood in Vermont can be expensive. Check out my previous video for a cost breakdown on how much it costs us to heat our house with firewood. So we lost money just on the firewood alone. So why would we keep doing this? Well, first of all, because we're Vermonters. Maple syrup runs in our veins and we stack moose meat like it's cordwood. Lex and I are both 7th, 8th generation Vermonters, something like that. We grew up here. Sugaring has pretty fond memories for both of us. I grew up around it to a certain extent, but I was never able to have my own sugar house. When we finally had our own property and our own homestead, that was one of the first things I wanted to do, and it took me 5 years to get started. But now I'm not looking back. I think it's time for a little break. So what does it cost us this year? Well, for starters, we don't know yet. We don't know how much syrup we're going to make. We know how many taps we have. We know how much syrup we could make in theory if our numbers last year hold true this year. And if that's true, then we would make a whopping 12 gallons. Now, we might do better than that, but 12 gallons would be about $500 worth of syrup using that same number. But we've got more money into it this year. Every year you try to add on, you spend a little more money, and things add up fast. So let's assume wood was completely free, okay? We bought a new evaporator this year. That was over $1,000. We bought some more lines. We bought more taps. We bought more equipment. Probably got close to $2,000 in it to make 500 gallons of syrup. That doesn't make any sense. But it does, because it's not always about coming out ahead financially. Look at this. Sugaring gets me outside, gets our family outside during the first nice days of the spring. And that's important. It adds to our self-sufficiency. It lets us produce our own product, and it's a social event. Yeah, the tapping is a lot of work. Hanging lines is a lot of work. All the preparation is a ton of work, quite frankly. We're not saving money. We're not going to be big enough to save money. And probably the bigger we get, the more money we're going to lose. But the cool thing is, every spring, we have something to do. Family comes over. We have big boil parties. We enjoy it. It's a Vermont tradition. And it's not always about saving money. Right here. Not to mention, snowshoeing around in the springtime in the deep woods of Vermont, you don't need to pay for a gym membership. This is why you wear wool in the sugar woods. Let's run through the numbers. Last year, we had 45 taps. We made 7 gallons of syrup. We probably spent altogether, I don't know, $500. This year, we're hopefully going to get more sap because we did some changes to our lines that should make it flow better. We have a bigger evaporator, more taps. If everything stays the same, the added taps should double our syrup production. And we're still going to lose money, but that's okay. Because look at what we get to do. Southerners can say what they want. The North is a cool place. Deer have been in here too. They really like this hillside. What's really crazy is we're only doing 80 taps. Some of the big places are doing tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. I don't even know how big they get nowadays. This is all that we can manage. It produces us all the syrup we need for our family for the year. Enough to give away to friends and families, maybe barter. It's a really good way to do it for us. But right about the time that we get done tapping is when I start getting good at it, because I only do it once a year. Man, the people who do this for a living, and they're tapping all day, every day, from Christmas time or the first of the year all the way through now, February, mid-February. Kudos to them, because it is a demanding job and it is a ton of work. But it's a Vermont tradition, and it's a huge product for us. Vermont makes a lot of money off maple syrup. It's kind of what we're known for. Maple syrup and mousse, right? And Ben & Jerry's. But it's an important tradition. And what's cool is in the springtime, when you're driving around the back roads of Vermont, you can see these steam clouds just coming up all over the place. And those are sugar houses. Those are everything from pop-up canopies with a turkey fryer underneath, boiling the sap from 2 or 3 taps, all the way up to places that are tapping thousands upon thousands upon thousands and packaging it in 55-gallon drums and sending it off to wholesalers. It's an incredible industry. It's unique to the North. It's part of Vermont's tradition and pride and culture. And it's really something that I'm proud to be doing. And I'm really proud to be showing my son. And hopefully, when we get our sugar house built with the pine trees that we're cutting down at our property, milling into lumber to build it, he'll have those memories growing up like I did. And I know it's a good time to tap. It's actually past the best time to tap because there's already some sap flowing through the line. See those bubbles? Those are air bubbles while the trees are starting to fill the lines up. And all this solid is sap, which means we're going to be boiling real soon. All right, we're going to tap your first tree. Okay, come here. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to pick you up. Okay. All right, ready? Where should we do it? Right here. Ready? Go! All right. Okay. Now we're going to put the tap in. You remember? Can you reach? Ready? Oh, can you put it in the hole? Oh, there's a piece of bark in it. We got to get that out. Hold on. There. Okay. Ready? In the hole. Okay. Now we're going to hammer it in.
I'm going to hammer again.
Yep. Ready? Tap, 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 tap. All done. Good job.